Hello, I'm recording another one of these webcam captured videos, and if you can see, I, this is so weird. As you can see right here, behind my shoulder, I have many hats. I'm sort of addicted, probably because um, I look at my dad and I see my future with my hair, and not pretty. So this is why I was also hoping eventually I would find a wife, so that way after I'm married I can go bald and not worry. Um, anyway, last Friday I think it was, I had to take a family member down to Madison to get on a bus to go to O'Hare, and it just so happened that the bus stop uh, was near all these fraternity houses. And I put out a tweet on the good old Twitter, and I got a few private responses from some college students in Madison saying, hey, come here. Uh, we have a keg. So I went there and I drank, and I'm not going to say who I drank with, but it was a fun time. Then on the way home, yeah, I drank and drove. Not something I'm proud of, but I was under the limit. So, yeah. Well, on the way home, I stopped at the old open air mall, which I think is one of the stupidest ideas for this state, the state of Wisconsin. Um, Come on, open air mall. Yeah, sure, it may save on heating, but what you're saving in the heating, you have to recoup in maintenance, paying for snow removal inside the mall, and extra heating in the stores because every time somebody goes into the store, they open the door and heat escapes. Just a horrible time. But I stopped at two stores in this mall. One was a Crocs outlet mall, and I tried on a pair of Crocs. I'm not happy to admit it, but I did. I know I really rip Crocs to shreds. They just, I don't know, they look ugly, but I was proud to see that they had Crocs in my size, um, or at least I didn't know they were my size until I tried them. They were a 4X in a Croc. Um, it, I still didn't think, even at the outlet store price of buy one get one free, and they were $30, it didn't justify me getting two pair of Crocs. So then I went across the mall and went to Lids, the hat store, picked myself up some hats because they were having a nice hat sale. Got myself Green Bay Packer hat. I love the little stitching on the outside. It's even got little nicks here to make it all retro. So turn this into a fashion show. So now you see Godfather of Green Bay. It was fun wearing this, watching the Packers beat the Eagles. Hopefully I'll wear it this weekend when the Packers beat the Falcons. I also got myself a Brewers hat. Um, I I like the checkered pattern on this. Really cool. It's the old logo. It blew my mind when I first figured out. Uh, I always thought their logo was a glove, but it's an M and a B, Milwaukee Brewers. So that one's cool. I'm ready for baseball season. Uh, catchers and pitchers report in 33 days. I also bought myself a Boston Red Sox hat. I thought that one was pretty swell. Then in back it says Boston. I usually follow two teams, Brewers and the Red Sox, one for each league. And one of my most hated teams that I hate even more than the Yankees is the Minnesota Twins. We can discuss that at a later date. Then, of course, because I am a Badger fan, I got myself a nice black Badger hat. This is what sold it. On the side, it says Wisconsin. So you can wear it backwards, show your support, or this way. Of course, I don't like straight flat bills, so I'm constantly scrunching that down so it takes on a more traditional baseball style look. And then my last hat I got is a nice Badger hat, camouflage. Then on the back it has the W, and on the front, yeah, it's to appease my inner redneck. And I live in a town of 1,300 people, so I figure I need to blend a little. I already stick out like a sore thumb enough as it is. So I paid $5 for each of those, so $25. It's nice when Lids has those sales. I was going to also talk about a story from my childhood that I know I've shared before on Zanga, but I don't remember how many of you remember, and or how many of you care actually, because I've realized a lot of things. You know, when people have started out on that site, and they became famous, you know, whatever you call them, Zanga-lebrities, which when I see people use that term, it just irritates me. But I've noticed that a lot of these people that they were following me this summer, and they went on to bigger and better things, that now they could give two shits about me. So it hurts to see that these people you developed a bond with, and all of a sudden, you know, they act like you don't exist. I don't know. It's just, I guess that's the state of affairs. I guess that's the way life goes. That people are going to come and go in your life. That it's really hard to make roots, develop anything. But anyway, this post I was talking about was a story of playground occurrence back with a few friends after school one day. We didn't have to go home. We just had to leave the school building, and all of us were latchkey kids. See, I went to this private school about 10 miles away. My grandmother lived across the street from the school, so once or twice a week, my mom would come down to visit my grandmother and pick me up. So I got to stay after school and play with my grade school friends. This particular day, we were playing ball tag, not, you know, where you slap somebody's testicles and say, "Hey, you're it." No, we'd take a round playground dodgeball and we'd throw it at each other, and that was how we got each other it. It was me. There was JoJo. There was, to protect anonymity, there was the Incredible Hulk. Then there was Nick. Then there was the African Dream. And, people, when I first wrote that years ago, they claimed I was racist. But no, this was my friend. He was born in Africa because his father was a missionary. Then there was, well, the guy who became One Nut. And so we're playing ball tag, and when somebody got it, what usually we would do is they get hit with the ball and it bounces, and then somebody run and kick it so that they'd have to run to go get the ball, and then we could hide or separate ourselves from as far as the person who was it. Well, Jared, he kicked the ball and he jumped up on this tire swing and he started hollering at whoever was it, just boastful insults, just playground banter. But he wrapped his leg around the chain, and all of a sudden he started swinging, and then it was this ungodly screams, this agony, pure pain. And he was wearing basketball shorts, and if you remember, I'm an old man, so in my day basketball shorts rarely went below the knee. I mean, they were mid-thigh. Well, Jared, as he jumped up on this tire swing, his shorts rode up, and somehow his scrotum was attached to the chain link. I can still hear those screams today. Well, he was trying to get himself loose. Everybody was just staring, utter disbelief, because here's this guy with his nut stuck in a chain. We're sitting there questioning, hey, do we go get help? Well, apparently Jared and this JoJo said, no, don't go get help. Don't tell any parents. We'll take care of this. He didn't want to get in trouble. With one swift motion, he's holding onto the chain. He moves in and just rips himself off. Tore himself free. Sort of like the picture of the wolf chewing its own arm off or leg off to free itself from a trap. We're just sitting there in disbelief. All of a sudden, his front is covered in blood, and he's grabbing his crotch and he's running home. None of us moved. Only one person moved. That was JoJo. And she just starts bawling. You can see her just crying, and she goes over to the tire swing and takes a stick and starts poking out the remnants of his testicle because it was really bad. It tore that out. And I don't think I mentioned this, a little late now. JoJo was Jared's younger sister. He missed a few days of school. And she later told us that when he got home, he tried to duct tape it, but didn't do a good job because his mother noticed all the blood. But JoJo did try to save his nut. She put it in a glass and then put it in the refrigerator. They went to the hospital, but it was too late. So that's why he got the nickname One Nut, called him. That was a mean nickname, but That was mean for grade school. Probably today they would sit us down and make us do all sorts of bullying sessions because we're little assholes. But what they didn't know was when he got to school, he was picked on for something else because his last name was Smallwood. Yeah, old One Nut Smallwood. I'll have to share some more of these stories. I get my inner Garrison Keeler out. Geez, it's been 15 minutes, and I feel sorry for you having to listen to all this. Good night.